Hey folks, we're going to do some lunchtime design today with the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2024 rules, color mana spell point variant rules that are on the DMsGuild, and the Ravnica's Guildmaster Guide to Ravnica's campaign setting backgrounds. So give me a second here to check on my signal, make sure that I'm live. I'm going to do some fast social media posts, and then we're going to get to work here for a couple hours before it's July 4th here in America. So I'm going to be doing some barbecue and stuff later on tonight with family and friends. So I've got a couple hours right now for me to play around. So I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity. So I've got a couple hours right now for me to play around. So yeah, it sounds like it's an okay volume. Let's drop that down here, get that out of the way, grab my link here, do my social media posts real fast, and then we'll get to work for a couple hours. So we were working yesterday on the 10 guilds of Ravnica as backgrounds. And we're translating them into a structured 5-tier system from level 1 to 17, 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. That progresses with a half casting scale. And so far, so good. So we're about halfway done with the project. We're going to finish that up today, and we'll see where we're at on the clock. And we'll either start today or Monday on the Strixhaven backgrounds next. So almost done. Hold on. Stay on target. Clickety, 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 clickety. Cool, I'm done. All right, so get the social media posts out of the way. I will just ask that if you guys think this stuff is cool. I stream 9 times per week, so you can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when I'm live in the future. The playtest document that we're using today to rebuild the subclasses, rebuild the backgrounds, as well as all the work and all the subclasses that we've done for the martial powers and color mana playtest content. It's all linked right here. Here's a bunch of books that I've already created on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews to read. Most importantly for today is the Magic the Gathering 5 color mana spell point variant rule bundle. That's here. Again, these are all free preview. Check them out, as is the playtest doc that we're using is read only for you guys right now, but as soon as it publishes on the DMsGuild, you'll be able to buy or just thumb through it if you please. So thanks for checking this stuff out. I'm going to separate some of my my windows here just to keep myself in order. And check, and then we have our actual playtest document here, and then we have our let's see, there, pluck that, and then here we go, our playtest content. Here's the backgrounds for Ravnica, and here is some cards for reference sake if we need them, and here is the actual mechanics for, oh, that's what we need. We need this for spellcasting, and we also have the revised 5 color mana spell point variant rule list that is for 2024 Player's Handbook rules. If you check the link down below, the MTG bundle, the revised color mana spell list is a pay what you want that has all the spells from 2014. This is updated for 2024, which will be publishing sooner than later. So looking at the backgrounds right now, let's scroll down. Again, you have access to this playtest document and the link down below. Let's kick on down past all 14 classes. Every subclass that Wizards has ever created for both 2024 and has not yet been updated are all in here, updated to 2024, along with converting them to the mana system that we use for Magic the Gathering. And let's see, get past the Cleric and the Druid and the Scion from the most recent Unearthed Arcana, Sorcerer, and Wizard. And now we're into the backgrounds. There we go. So again, to refresh our memories from yesterday, if you weren't with us then, well, God bless you for being here now. Thanks a lot. We have the renown system from the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. Has a scale of basically 3 to 51 points that your character acquires. And by third, when you acquire 3 points of renown for the guild that you choose, in this case, say Azorius Senate, at 3 renown, you gain access to a selection of, you get benefits, legal authority, which allows you to basically question people and investigate different potential crimes that you are aware of during the adventure. And there's 5 tiers of just benefits and features that you get that break down at 3 renown, 15 renown, 27 renown, 27 renown, 39 renown, and 51 renown. That's the scale from 3 to 51 that is in the book, but it used to be 4 categories. We've broken it into 5 to break up the content a little bit more to help align with your levels of 1, 5, 9, 13, and 17. If you don't want to track renown as a separate experience point accruement, you can just gain 3 points of renown every time you gain a level. So by the time you're 17th level, you've got 51 renown. And so every 6 points of renown that you gain, you get access to an additional bonus power or spell. Powers are for martial classes, and spells are for full casters. The hybrid half casters of Artificer, Paladin, Ranger, as well as Warlock has access to both spells and powers. So we have that division, and so when you gain ranks, if you're a full caster, as you gain up ranks, you can pick a spell that'll work up to your maximum spell level. So if you're gaining renown faster than you're gaining levels, then you'll be delayed in getting access to the spell until you reach the level that you have. But if you're just automatically gaining 3 points of renown every time you gain a level, you'll automatically clip in place and get all these things as they come along. Worth noting, every single background, regardless of which one, all of them, you get a bastion at 5th level from your guild. So like here in the case of the Azorius Senate, depending on what kind of a character you're playing in the Azorius Senate, you'll get a bastion, which could be like it could be like a precognition center. It could be a data facility. It could be a constabulary. It could be a senate, like a senate scribing office. There's a lot of different things that you could potentially set up as your bastion, and I would of course recommend using the bastion variant rules that I've been developing on the DMsGuild. That will eventually be published on DMsGuild. It's not quite there yet. Let me fix my screen here for my own tracking purposes. There. Let's see. Here's our spell list translated for 2024, which will come in handy. So the way that it's set up in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, the official publication, when you take on the background, you get 10 bonus spells at the same rate that you would gain subclass features. Whenever you get access to 1st level spells, you get these bonus spells. When you get access to 2nd level spells, you get these. 3rd, blah, 4th, blah, and like a half caster gets access to 5th level spells at 17th level, while a full caster gets access to 5th level spells at 9th level. It doesn't distinguish, and of course marshals don't get shit. So there's a disconnect in rate of progress in type of benefits that your character gets using the base raw mechanics of 5e24 or 5e14. So the martial power system that we developed gives martial characters a half casting progression, kind of like the martial like Book of Nine Swords from 3rd edition. It had an alternate magic system for martial characters to implement that had a mana pool that you would spend to trigger different martial power effects. So we've retranslated that into the color mana system that we've developed for the DMsGuild. And now we can decouple the guild progression away from when do you gain a level, like what level of spell do you get access to. Now it's whenever your character gains 1st level, 3rd level, 5th level, 7th level, 9th level, 11th, up to 17th level. Like for Azorius Senate, we can have a 1st level spell, 2nd level spell, 3rd level spell, 4th level, up to 9th level spell that Azorius Senate characters automatically get, regardless of, like, if they're a full caster, they can choose that. Alternatively, if they are a martial channeler, which progresses which progresses on a half casting system, just like the Paladin, Ranger, Artificer also progress. By 17th level, you are at 5th rank of channeling powers. So at 1st and 3rd level, you get a 1st rank power. At 5th and 7th, you get a 2nd rank power. 9th, 11th, you get a 3rd rank power, etc. up to 17th. So each doesn't matter what class you're playing, you still have a full 10 things that you get. And with the martial power system that we've been developing here on stream, and again, this playtest document is linked down in the description down below. All the martial classes gain 10 bonus powers, similar to how full casters get 10 bonus spells. And it's weird that in 2024, not all spellcasters get 10 spells, but there's not a lot of difference in power of the subclasses that the spellcasters get that would warrant whether or not they get bonus spells. So we've rebuilt them here in this document, so all 14 classes in the game, including the Scion, has 10 bonus powers or spells that they get depending on what kind of a class they are. So every character is getting the same amount of resources. We're all using the same type of mana pool as our base mechanic for us to fuel powers and spell effects that we can do inside of the game, and it helps create our color identities for our characters. Like, your alignment can be replaced with color. And so if I'm playing a green-red Gruul character, then the magic that I'm going to be wielding as a spellcaster or a channeler is going to be red and green magic. And the revised spell list that we have translates all the spells in the player's handbook into white, blue, black, red, or green. Like, for example, Armor of Agathis deals cold damage, and cold damage is linked to white, blue, and green magic. So a Gruul character could pick up Armor of Agathis as a green spell, while say an Azorius Senate character could pick it up as a white spell, or Izzet, or like in Strixhaven Prismari could pick it up as a blue spell. So we have and depending on what the spell does and what kind of damage it deals, determines what color or colors it can be used. And of course, the way that the system works is a 1-to-1 point ratio. If I'm going to throw a 2nd level spell, say See Invisibility, which is a blue spell, or Scorching Ray, which is a red spell, Scorching Ray, 2 mana, 1 point would be red, and the other point could be any color that I want. If I'm playing a Gruul character, then I could spend 2 points of red, or I could spend 1 point of red and 1 point of green. So I'd have that flexibility. Assume if I'm using color mana, I can use color magic and just have my mana pool be just generic, just universal spell points that can be spent on a 1-to-1 ratio. And then I would just simply describe the magic when I cast Scorching Ray as red magic, and whatever effects I narrate as red magic for my character, or as the DM, how you narrate red magic on creatures and monsters, Scorching Ray is now resolved. But if you want to be strict, when you have your mana pool, you can take each point in your mana pool and devote it to a color. So if I run out of red mana, I can't cast Scorching Ray anymore until I take a short or long rest and change what colors are left in my mana pool. If I've got 6 points of mana, 5 are green, 1 is red, and I cast Scorching Ray, I'll have to spend 1 point of red, and I'm out of red now. So the other point is green, and that leaves me with 4 points of green mana left. So if I want to cast Scorching Ray again, I would have to take a short or long rest. Of course, when I take a long rest as like a sorcerer, I'll get all of my mana back. And then I can just assign all of that mana to, like, I'm using a lot of red right now, so if I've got 30 points normally, maybe I'll put 20 points in the red and 10 points in the green. But that is your choice, or a session 0 conversation about whether you're going to just use color magic or if you're going to use color mana on top of color magic. So there's different degrees of mechanical restriction that you have in this system if you want to use it. And as a DM, I can always frame monsters and NPCs and stuff as using the color mana, because NPCs generally don't track points anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Technically, it would just be color magic that they're using, and you're not tracking their mana resources. But the DM can narrate, like if the DM is like, I want to eliminate them casting Scorching Ray at this point because the fight's almost over and they've taken enough damage. I can just say they've ran out of red mana. So now your Gruul Chieftain that you're fighting is relying only on the green mana he has back, and so instead of being aggressive, he's now having to fall back and like heal himself with his green magic as he's trying to fight you. He's trying to keep alive because he's ran out of red. And then like the onlookers that are watching you fight the Chieftain is like, oh god, the Chief is weak. He doesn't have any fury left. So then even if the team doesn't outright kill the Chieftain, they may have a vote of no confidence and exile that Chieftain anyway and look for a replacement. And if like your characters were battling that Chieftain for dominance of their tribe, now you have control of the tribe, and in Gruul that could become your bastion. So that's a way for you could combat and gain control, giving you renown in the Gruul clans to hit that 15 renown threshold for you to get your bastion. So that's some of the ideas that the system allows us to use when you combine these different elements together to have a more lush world narrative with a lot of mechanical details that help bind into and make the mechanics. It's called ludonarrative, when the mechanics of a game complement and bolster the narrative of the game. It becomes synchronized with itself and becomes a better package. So that's the idea: converting your alignment system into the color mana philosophies, and then using those philosophies to dictate what type of magic you wield, and then that magic that you wield is going to dictate what type of spells do you naturally have access to, or where do you need to spend time and research as downtime activities in your bastion to be able to convert spells into the color that you want. So it all works really well together. A gritty realism mechanic where each night of rest is a short rest, and then like at the end of and then you get one long rest, like say per bastion turn, which is typically a week. So you'd have 6 nights of short rests, and then you'd have and then the end of the week would be your long rest. And so the full casters and the half casters and the martial characters would all be progressing with less resources available to them normally. So more downtime is useful back at your bastion, because the bastion can restore mana to your characters. So falling back to your bastion to regain mana is a good idea. And while you're there, you can research spells and stuff so that you can coalesce all the spells into the colors that you want them to over time. So it helps build space, build breathing time, downtime into your campaign by having the gritty realism combined with the bastion system, combined with converting your mana pool into the colors that you want. It all works together really nicely. So let's see. That's probably enough prologue. Let's get back to work. So we've already finished converting Azorius, and we've done all of the backgrounds in Ravnica up through 7th level, because our playtest on my Discord is currently 7th level. So that's as high as we had to go for this weekend. But now that I've got some spare time here in my lunch shift, technically I'm not working today. It's a holiday here in America. But I typically have a design stream on Friday, and since I won't be doing stuff with family and friends until this evening, I've got a couple hours on my hands. I figured I'd jump on and finish out the Ravnica backgrounds, and then we can work on the Strixhaven backgrounds and credit system for attending college, which is similar to the renown system and the Theros piety system. So works in progress. Let's get back into it. So 9th level gives us access to 3rd level powers and 5th level spells, and then at 6th level we get access to 11th level we get 6th level, 7th level, 8th level, and then 9th level spells, and we'll get access to 3rd level spells here, and then 3rd rank powers, and then 4th rank powers. So let's look at this is let's go to Boros. There we go. Looking at you, Boros. We're going to 11th is 3rd rank powers, and let's first work on spells. So we'll do the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th level spells that Boros full casters get access to, and then we'll loop back around and we'll look at what martial powers the half casters and martial characters can get access to. Okay, 6th level. Here we are. Boros. Guiding Bolt, Scorching Ray, Beacon of Hope, Wall of Fire, Flame Strike. What's another good one here? Blade Barrier might be okay. Planar Ally could be okay. Sunbeam might be a good one. Those are basically the 3 that we're looking at. Planar Ally is not a horrible idea. I like the idea of Blade Barrier, but it's not really Radiance or Fire, so I think I'm going to eliminate Blade Barrier. So that takes us... Sunbeam is probably just the most logical one to have here. So let's go with Sunbeam. If anyone wants to contest that idea, be welcome to comment down below or debate me on my Discord channel, which is also linked down below. Let's check out 7th level spells. What's out there for? Well, there is Delayed Blast Fireball. That is a thing. There's also Firestorm and Divine Word. Jesus, and Conjure. There's a lot of really good Boros flavored stuff. Even Magnificent, even Mordenkainen's Sword isn't a bad idea. Let's skip the sword. Let's look up Divine Word again, just to refresh our memory on what that does. As Boros is more aggression and hitting stuff than thinking things through or negotiating. You utter word imbued with the power of the upper planes. Each creature of your choice in range makes a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 50 hit points or fewer, suffers an effect based on... Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That feels more Orzhov than Boros, though, honestly. So I think I'm going to hold off on that one. So let's skip Divine Word. Conjure Celestial might not be a bad pit. Let's see how this one looks. Concentration, 7th level. Conjure a spirit from the upper planes, which manifests as a pillar of light in a 10-foot radius. For each creature you see in the cylinder, choose one of the effects. Healing Light, Searing Light. Oh god, yes. Abso-fucking Conjure Celestial. It's weird that it's a cylinder, not a creature now. That's just, to me, that's weird. But it fits Boros really, really well. So let's go with Conjure Celestial. Okay, it's their need to keep the language and spells in place, and backward compatibility is a little silly in circumstances like this. I question their decision making on this, but I like the 5e24 game engine better in general, so I'm willing to step past it. What else is Holy Aura is not a bad idea. And there's Sunburst. We already have Sunbeam, so I'm wary to go with Sunburst as well. Let's look up Holy Aura first, and then we'll look at Sunburst. Holy Aura. 8th level. I suspect this is going to be a winner. Concentration, 8th level. For the duration, you emit an aura in a 30-foot emanation. While in the aura, creatures of your choice have advantage on all saving throws, and other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against them. In addition, when a fiend or an undead hits an affected creature with a melee attack roll, the attacker must succeed a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the end of its next turn. Okay, yeah, Holy Aura, that's a good one. And then 9th level. What is 9th level Boros bringing to the table? Power Word Heal isn't a horrible idea. Prismatic Wall doesn't feel right. I could see a Zet doing Prismatic Wall. True Polymorph, no. Oof, Meteor Swarm isn't a horrible idea, but it's Let's look that up, actually. How many spells are there? There's 15 spells, and there's 10 guilds. We could theoretically pull this off. True Resurrection feels like Selesnya more so than Boros. Meteor Swarm could be Gruul. But Storm of Vengeance feels more like Gruul than anything, let's be honest. So I bet Meteor Swarm is going to do the deal. Let's check it out. I think it's just fire damage. Takes fire damage and bludgeoning damage. So the bludgeoning damage is a little off flavor, but the fire damage is definitely on point. Yeah, okay, we'll go with it. Meteor Swarm for the win. Easy peasy. Okay, now we're going to get into the list of powers for Boros. We're currently at we're looking at 3rd rank right now. We did Bursting Strike as the first 3rd rank power that we gained. So let's see what's another cool effect that we can give to Boros. There's 160 some odd powers, so there's plenty of stuff on the plate for us to be able to distribute to our team. 3rd rank. Anything particularly cool in here? No. And there's a defense barrier, fate spinner. Those don't feel like Boros. 3rd rank. There's probably a 3rd rank strike power that we could use. Oh yeah, we already chose Bursting Strike. Ooh boy, we're running out of options here, boyos. Let's look at 3rd rank. Celerity, Daunting Presence, Ghostwalker, Mind Sense, Windstrider. Daunting Presence, while sustaining this power, attacks against you by creatures you can see, roll with disadvantage, and when you are the only target of an effect that requires you to make a saving throw, you roll with advantage. Actually, I'm pretty good with that. Yeah, let's go with that. 13th level, that gives us access to 4th rank powers. So let's see what 4th rank sustained powers might make sense. Indestructible is not a bad idea. That's got a real white flavor to it. While sustaining this power, you gain resistance to all damage, and attacks can't score critical hits. In addition, as a reaction to taking damage, you can dismiss this power. So it takes 4 mana to turn it on, and since it's a sustained power, it stays on until you dismiss it, are rendered incapacitated, or begin a long rest, or are dispelled. Of course, dispel as a 4th level power. But otherwise, it stays on all day. So when you dismiss it, you're turning off all of your resistances. But instead, if you do, until the end of your next turn, you're immune to the triggered damage type. So I could jump into lava with Indestructible on, dismiss the power, become immune to fire damage, and then I'll have until the end of next round to turn Indestructible on again. And by the time at the end of my round, when the invulnerability wears off, I could dismiss Indestructible again during my turn and get another round of being immune to fire damage. So in that sense, for however long I can generate 4 points of mana for my character, I can stay immune to a particular type of damage for however long I can maintain, however long I can keep it up. Whether I'm going to end up burning through it, but at, like, say at 17th level, if I sacrifice my bonus action, I gain 3 points of mana. So if I wanted to have my round, my movement, I would need my magic action to activate Indestructible. I could sacrifice my bonus action for 3 mana, and I could then just take 1 point out of my mana pool and turn on Indestructible again. So I could effectively have like 20 rounds of indestructibility to a specific, like one type of damage at a time, before I actually run out of mana. And then I could use like, I could even sacrifice my reaction and my bonus action for 4 points of mana. But all I'd be able to do is churn on. All I'd be able to do is channel indestructible and then dismiss it, and then I'd have my movement. So like if I'm trying to swim through a lava tube to find an ancient red dragon's a lair, that would be an effective strategy. But I won't have the opportunity to actually engage in battle with anything in the lava tubes. So I have to make sure I get through there stealthily. That would be a really nice high level encounter, like a really high level issue. Like I'm swimming through lava. If at any point I can't keep indestructible up, I'm going to take 26 points of damage, and I'm stuck in a fucking lava tube. Chances of me getting out is slim. They'll probably kill me. That's a really fun 17th plus level challenge. Fun stuff. Man, nothing tastes like water when you're thirsty, you know? But I love that. Indestructible makes total sense here. And what's next? 2 more 4th rank powers. Let's go to our strikes. Banishing Strike's a pretty good one. Your weapon can deal force damage and increases damage by 1 power die per mana channeled. The creature is banished and incapacitated for 1 minute, returning to the same space it had been banished from if unoccupied. Otherwise, returning to the next closest available space. That'll support its weight, or unless it was flying. The creature makes a charisma saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect early if successful. That's not a bad one. I don't know if it's one I want to use, but it's a good one I can fall back to. If I'm struggling to find things that are more suitable, we'll use it. Rite of Revival, that's a decent one. As a reaction, when you drop to 0 hit points but don't die outright, you remain conscious and roll a number of power dice equal to the mana channeled, which is going to be 4 or 5 depending, gaining a number of hit points equal to the total rolled, up to your maximum hit point total. So Rite of Revival seems pretty legit. None of the maneuvers, there's only 3 maneuvers, none of them seem right. Unstoppable, when you this is a when an effect or condition other than incapacitated, unconscious, or death reduces your movement to 0, you can channel this power to retain your movement until the end of your next turn, even if you cannot take other actions. So that feels more gruel than anything to me. So let's skip that one. Let's take Banishing Strike. And what was the other one? Indestructible, Banishing Strike. Because there was something else, right? Indestructible, Banishing Strike. I swear there's another one. Oh, yeah, Rite of Revival. Thank you. Hexproof's not bad. As a reaction to when a creature you see uses the magic action or casts a spell that targets only you, you are unaffected by it. Wasting the action, any mana that was spent is regained. I think Rite of Revival is more on point than Hexproof. We might be hard pressed to find suitable powers for all 10 guilds, but that finishes Boros. So far, so good, guys. Let's keep it up. We're now into Dimir territory, so we'll finish our spells at 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then we'll go back and we'll fill in powers for Dimir as well. So I guess we can work from the top down. Dimir. Time stop. Time stop for Dimir? I think that makes sense. Weird. Let's Power word kill for Rakdos. Storm of Vengeance for Gruul. Yeah. Times weird. Let's go with weird for Demir. That actually jives. You know, while we're here, let's just flesh these out. Golgari. What makes sense for Golgari? Kill, powered heal, mass heal, imprisonment, gate, foresight. Yeesh. Jesus, Golgari, the swarm. Like animal shapes. Oh, geez, that would work for Golgari. Fuck, man. Why am I having an issue with Golgari? Rot Farm, green and black. Green means healing, so that's not a horrible idea. But Golgari is not really known for healing. They're more known for recycling. True polymorph, true resurrection. Gate doesn't really work. Foresight, not so much. Astral projection doesn't feel in flavor. I guess mass heal. I guess that's where we're at, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see some of the other Golgari stuff. Animate dead. Ray of enfeeblement, ray of sickness, giant insect, cloud kill. See, yeah, there's a flavor mismatch that we've been building here. I guess power word kill could work, but what? But does that mean that we have anything cool for Rakdos? Not specifically. Gruul is definitely going to be Storm of Vengeance. Orzhov. Maybe Orzhov, huh? Geez, imprisonment is a really good one for Azorius, but so is Foresight. What would be? Let's go with imprisonment for Golgari. Simply because Golgari is the Undercity where everything is buried, and imprisonment buries buries creatures in the earth. So it's a weak narrative, but our spell selection is incredibly limited at this level. So I'm gonna take any flimsy excuse I can grab, to be quite frank. So Gruul, Storm of Vengeance makes perfect sense. Izzet could be Prismatic Wall. Izzet could be Polymorph, I guess. Prismatic Wall, I think, makes more sense than anything else for them. Let's do that. And then we got Orzhov, which will probably be True Resurrection. Death Ward, Speak with Dead, Zone of Truth. Yeah. Power word heal. Let's do that. Power word heal. And then Rakdos. Power word kill. We know that right off the cuff. Selesnya. Awaken, Aura of Life, Speak with Plants, Warding Bond. Let's go True Resurrection. That'll probably work. And then Simic is going to be Shape Change. Hey, we did it. We figured out the 9th level spells. Let's figure out 8th level now. Telepathy, Power Word Stun, Maze, Incendiary Cloud, Holy Aura, Glibness, Earthquake. Earthquake feels like gruel to me. Where are we at right now? We're in the Simic Combine. Demi-Plane, Clone. Ooh, Clone. That's a good Simic power. Anything better? I don't think so. That's a really good one. Okay. Slasnia. What you got, Slaz? Sunburst, perhaps? Let's I don't actually know what Sunburst does. I know we skipped it for Boros. So this seems fateful. See where this takes us. Sunburst, Brilliant Sunlight. Failed creatures take radiant damage and are blinded. Creature blinded by the spell makes another Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns. I did not give this to Boros, right? Hold on. Holy Aura, there it is. Magic Field. Yeah. Good. Sunburst. That makes a lot of sense. Let's go to where are we at? Rakdos? Rakdos 8 equals. Jesus, Glibness isn't the bad one. Mind Blank for Dimir, I think, makes the most sense. Glibness for Rakdos could make a lot of sense. I want to save Dominate Monster for Golgari. I want Demi-Plane for Gruul. Animal Shapes for... Jeez, Dominate Monster. Let's see. Dominate Monster could make sense for... Where are we at right now? Rakdos? Yeah, let's go with Dominate Monster. Let's just do that. That goes with their BDSM lifestyle, I guess. Rakdos, let's go down into, what is this, Orzhov? Yeah. What has Orzhov got? Antipathy. Antipathy might not be bad. I think Holy Aura is already on Boros, so I'd rather not repeat if I don't have to. Yeah, Antipathy, Sympathy. Let's look at that real quick. Hold on. That might actually be a really good one for Orzhov. It is a black spell, so that jives. Cast a spell, choose whether to create antipathy or sympathy, and target one creature or object that is huge or smaller. Then specify a kind of creature, such as red dragons, goblins, vampires. A creature of the chosen kind makes a wisdom saving throw when it comes within 120 feet of the target, your choice. That type of creature makes a saving throw when it comes within 120 feet of the chosen creature. And your choice of anti or sympathy determines what happens. Antipathy is the creatures are frightened of you, try to run away. Sympathy means that they're charmed by you, and then ending the effect. If frightened or charmed creatures end its turn more than 120 feet away from the target. Okay, yeah, that's a great one for Orzhov. Nice. that? Incendiary Cloud isn't a no for Izzet. Anti-magic field. I don't hate that, but I think Azorius has it already. Yeah, anti-magic field. I'd rather not duplicate if I don't have to. I like them to be unique. Control weather is a no. Demi-plane, I don't hate that idea. Telepathy and glibness are both really good. Mind blank is where we're going with Dimir. That's right. What do I want to do with you? Is that clone? That'd be kind of funny. Don't we hold on? Didn't we pick that up for Simic already? Yeah, we gave Simic clone. So it looks like Incendiary Cloud is the way to go. Incendiary Cloud. Incendiary Cloud. Thank you. What does that do again? Makes big bada boom. Concentration. Swirling cloud of embers and smoke fills a 20-foot sphere centered on a point within range. Cloud's area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until a strong wind disperses it. When the cloud appears, each creature in it makes a dexterity saving throw. It takes 10d8 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on success. A creature must also make the save when the sphere moves into its space and when it enters the sphere or ends its turn there. A creature makes a save only once per turn. The cloud moves 10 feet away from you in a direction you choose at the start of each of your turns. Oh, wow. Okay. It has to move away from you. Interesting. Neat. Okay. Yeah. I'm good with that one. And now we're into Gruul. And Gruul will be Earthquake. Checking. There's a lot of good stuff there, but yeah, Earthquake I think feels the best. Like knocking down buildings. Why would Gruul not want that? Golgari. I think we're going with Dominate Monster here. Oh wait, no, we picked that up for we picked that up in Rakdos already. So where are we going here? I knew I had something going. Oh, it was animal shapes. No, wait, was that Selesnya? Hold on. Sunburst, huh? Okay. Is there something more appropriate? Double checking. I think animal shapes is the best. And now we're looking at Dimir. God, Dimir's got so much goodness going on. I think Mind Blank is the best, though. And we've already fleshed out all of Boros. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go to 7th level spells. Starting with Ye Old Dimir. Show me something cool. Simulacrum's gonna work. Project Image. That's not a bad Dimir idea. Ooh, man, there's a lot going on here. Divine Word, Etherealness, Firestorm, Mirage Arcana isn't horrible. Project Image isn't horrible. Power Word Fortify is a no. Mansion is a no. Mirage Arcana might be the right way to go here. Yeah, we'll go with Mirage Arcana. Hold on. I think that's the answer. Let's check our spell list. I'm having a great day. I hope everyone out there is too. You make a terrain. You make terrain in an area up to 1 mile. Look and spell. No, that is not the right answer. Let's check out project image instead. You create an illusory copy of yourself that lasts for the duration. The copy can appear at any location within range, which is 500 miles. You can see, yeah. Project image is absolutely the best choice. Nice. Glad we found it. Golgari, 7. Let's go. Golgari. What does Golgari have to say? Etherealness, divine word. Finger of death isn't a horrible idea. Regenerate isn't a horrible idea. Simulacrum symbol. Sequester. What the hell is sequester? I don't remember. Let's see. The touch, you magically sequester an object or only creature for the duration the target has the invisible condition and can't be targeted by divination magic. That's pretty good. Project image was better for Dimir, but sequester is not appropriate for Golgari. So it looks like Finger of Death is where we're at with Golgari. Yeah, that'll work. Gruul. Firestorm isn't a bad option for a Gruul. Prismatic Spray for Rosette feels good. Reverse Gravity is a little weird. Oh, you know what? Izzet has Niv Mizzet actually has Reverse Gravity on its spell list, so that would be very appropriate. Simulacrum for Simic makes a lot of sense. Gruul. What do we want for Gruul? Firestorm. Yep. Wait, what did we get? What did we give Boros? That's the other fire contender. Conjure Celestial. Cool. All right, so we're back to Firestorm. And then is that Reverse Gravity? It's a classic Niv spell. 7 is Orzhov. Force Cage. Orzhov. Reverse Gravity. Symbol. Ooh, Symbol might be a good one for Orzhov. Hold on. And definitely Simulacrum for Simic. You inscribe a harmful glyph. Set the trigger. Death, discord, fear, pain, sleep, stunning. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very Orzhov. That feels good. Love it. On to Rakdos. What were we looking at for Rakdos? Delay Blast Fireball isn't a horrible idea. Let's do it. Furf Ball. What else you got? Vicious Mockery, Dissonant Whispers, Fear, Wall of Fire, there it is. Dominate person, Fireball. Okay, cool. Precedence is set. That's good. Selesnya. I love doing these things, man. These are so fun. Selesnya. Probably Resurrection. But, Divine Word is taken. Conjure Celestial is taken. Ooh, Power Word Fortified. That's not a horrible answer. Yeah, let's do that. Power Word Fortified. Pools of hit points is very Selesnya in style, so I approve. And Simulacrum's not even a question. Easy. Easiest decision ever. And now 6th level. So Selesnya 6. Simic 6. What are we looking at for Simic 6? What do we got? What you got? What do we got? There's a lot of stuff going on 6. That's good news. It means we're probably gonna find what we need. Selesnya. Simic. Sorry. Flesh to Stone. Yeah, okay, that could be Simic-y. That's, oh boy, that's Golgari. Flesh to Stone, like with Medusa in their midst. Flesh to Stone is not off flavor like at all. Planner Ally, Summon Fiend, Building Cauldron, Transport via Plant, True Scene, Wall, Windwalk, Word of Yeesh. Simic's not coming through plain and easy, y'all. Boy, man, I am not seeing Simic jumping out at me here. Fae are generally blue aligned in nature, but it's not the flavor of Simic really. The colors work, but it's not quite the flavor. Harm, heal. Heal could work. If we have to, heal will work. If we can't find something better, and we might not. I don't hate True Seeing. I think heal's better. Let's go with that. It's not the greatest answer, but it's not the worst either. So we'll take it. On to Selesnya. Selesnya. Conjure Fae isn't horrible for Selesnya. Hero's Feast is pretty good for Selesnya. Food. Anything else that's jumping out at me? There's Sunbeam, but I think we already picked up Sunbeam for Boros. Yeah, and if I don't have to repeat, I won't. So Hero's Feast, I think Hero's Feast is jumping out the best so far. Transport via Plant isn't horrible. Wall of Thorns isn't horrible. Windwalk isn't horrible. Geez, what do we think? Wall of Thorns or Transport via Plant? Let's go with Wall of Thorns. That feels more like sap rolling tokens to me than anything, so let's do that. And now we'll go into Rakdos. What do we want from Rakdos? Harm. It's a great Rakdos option. Disintegrate feels very Izzet. I like that idea. Circle of Death. That's pretty good for. That's pretty good for Rakdos. Okay, so if we're thinking that, what about Orzhov? What would Orzhov take? Guards and wards. No, that's a horrible option for a player character. Orzhov for harm, and Rakdos Circle of Death. Yeah, let's do that. Harm, and then we have power word heal later. Okay, that works. Harm and heal. Sounds groovy. Next up is that. What you gonna do, buddy? Disintegrate. That's a really great option for Izzet. I like that. Just right out. So is Chain Lightning. Both of those are just really good off the cuff. Something jumping out at me that's better. Chain Lightning. I don't know. Blue and red is Disintegrate. Chain Lightning is just red. Let's go with Disintegrate because if we have to, we can use Chain Lightning for Gruul. If we need to. So Disintegrate is an option. Conjure Fey isn't the worst option. Sorry. Chain Lightning, Conjure Fey, those are both potentially valid. Move Earth isn't necessarily wrong. Let's go Chain Lightning. That seems more up Gruul's alley. Golgari, we already looked at Golgari. I think we were going, what were we going with Golgari? Hold on. It's suddenly not obvious to me anymore. Which one was it going to be? Create Undead's certainly not a bad option. Oh, it's Flush the Stone, right, because of the Medusa. Dimir. Programmed Illusion isn't horrible for Dimir. True Seeing. True Seeing is pretty good for Dimir. Anything blue-black specifically? Planar Ally is off flavor. Circle of Death. Create Undead. Create Undead's not horrible, but that's not real. I mean, unless you're a vampire, that's not really what Dimir is about. Let's go with, I guess we're going to go with True Seeing. Nice. Okay, we finished those out. I don't think it's perfect, but it's not bad. So I think we'll be okay. Okay, now we're looking at Dimir stuff, 3rd rank. Let's go into the power list. Third rank powers, thinking about Dimir. Mind Sense. Ghost Walk, I like, Ghost Walk feels good for Orzhov. Let's go with Mind Sense. gonna add Ghost Walk right now while I can. While I'm thinking about it. So let's go back to Dimir. Also third rank Dimir. Dimir. Provoking Strike, Staggering Strike. Takes away action economy. Intimidating Strike makes things afraid. Dimir. Fate Spinner. That Fate Spinner feels more like Azorius than well, I don't know, man. It is Dimir. What do we go with for Orzhov? Dimir is like the antithesis. Castigate, Staggering Strike. Okay. Fate Spinner. Let's do it. Fate Spinner reads, as a reaction to when you or a creature you can see makes an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, you can alter fate by rolling a number of power dice equal to the mana spent. You can choose to either increase or decrease the result by the highest power dice. So it's like a higher level Silvery Barbs. Third rank Silvery Barbs feels pretty good, and when you can generate mana like Marshals can, it actually feels really, really good. But you could also use it to improve your allies. It's not both. One or the other. Excuse me for a second. I need to close my window. And let's take a sip of water. I need to wash my hair when I'm done before I go out today. Shot of coffee, tastes good. Yeah, Fate Spinner feels really, really good for Dimir. I like that. Now we're looking at 4th rank. Hexproof isn't horrible. Master of Fate also feels good. When you channel his power, roll 3d20 fate dice. When you later roll a d20 while the power is sustained, you can choose to replace that result with any one of these fate dice. Each fate die can be used once. In addition, while sustaining the power, you can expend 1 mana from your pool as a bonus action during your turn to roll an additional fate die, replacing any result or regaining an expended fate die. Unused fate dice are lost when the power is dismissed. I like that a lot, but I'm going to push that up to 17. Master of Fate. Love that ability. What else I got? It's expensive as hell, but man, it's really good. Banishing Strike, Knockout Strike. Knockout Strike's not horrible for Dimir. I'll consider it. Stupefy. You can target a creature that you can see to make an intelligence saving throw. If it fails, it has paralyzed condition until it succeeds a saving throw at the end of its turn. This creature immune to charm. Roll with advantage. It's not perfect. But is there anything better? Oh, assassinating damage, of course. That's just good Dimir right there. Tap, 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 tap. Perfect. Dead. There. A little bit of reading space there. 9th level, we're looking at Golgari now. So I suspect there's some good stuff with Golgari that we can fish out. 3rd level, sure. Let's find it. When you make a saving throw to reduce damage, if the save succeeds, you take no damage or half if it fails. You decide to channel this power after you roll the save, but before you know if you succeeded. And that is an exploit. So, I like it. Resilient save. That's a good one. And we need another 3rd rank. Timely timer, thank you. God, Flicker Pounce is a really good one too. Did we pick up Flicker Pounce for Dimir? Mind Sense and Fate Spinner, huh? Modified memory. Yeah, fuck it. We're good. We're good where we're at. We're looking at 3rd rank Golgari. Let's just keep moving. You curse a creature that you can see to deal half damage with weapon attacks until the target succeeds a save. Not so much. Curse of Exposure, as a reaction to when you see a creature within range take damage. If it has resistance, you take it away. If they're immune, they take half damage anyway. That's not horrible. What about 3rd rank? What we got for attacks? We only need one more, right? Okay. That one works if we need it. Curse of Exposure will work, but let's see if there's something better. There's probably something better. Strider. All right, we'll do it. Curse of Exposure. And then 4th rank. Golgari, no. Strikes. Golgari. Maybe Knockout Strike, not specifically. Hexproof, Rider Revival. As a reaction to when a creature you see targets you. That's a very blue effect. Rider Revival is... That could be green. We could go with Rider Revival. What else? Wave of Terror, Telekinetic Bubble, Stupefy. We're running out fast. Shit. Unstoppable, Assassinate. We're short 2 things for Golgari. Nothing's specifically making sense at 4th rank. We're gonna have to be less picky. Rider Revival is fine. Hexproof can work if we need it. The creature becomes unconscious, and the creature takes a Constitution saving throw in the turns ending early. The trigger takes damage. Golgari. That doesn't... Knockout Strike doesn't specifically feel Golgari to me. Frenzied attacks can work, I suppose. Golgari. Mind Sense. Let's go with Mind Sense. Did we give Dimir Mind Sense? Yeah, we did. I wanted to give them Flicker Pounce anyway, so let's give Dimir Flicker Pounce so that Golgari can have Mind Sense. That works. And then the last one. Shit. Fudge. We're falling short. Mind Sense, no. Frenzied Attack. Like, Mind Sense is 3rd rank, so I don't want to give it to him unless I have to. Oh boy, we're running short, my guys. We are running short. Frenzied Attack, I guess, could work. My insistence on being unique with each of them is not serving me. Make a Constitution saving throw at the end of each turns. Ugh. Knockout Strike. We'll give it to him. We could go with Hexproof. Yeah. Have to go with Hexproof. All right, it's not perfect, but if anyone has any better suggestions, I am totally open. Looking at you, Gruul, 3rd rank. First Strike is a really good one. Hypertunistic, when you make an opportunity attack, you can attack twice. Let's go with First Strike. That's a high red energy sort of option. Also 3rd rank. You could take Hypertunistic. That'd be easy to insert. Reactions. 3rd rank reaction. 3rd rank strike. Provoking Strike. Deal psychic damage. Increased damage. Target uses target must use its actions to attack you, or target you with spells and effects until it can no longer see you or you are incapacitated. The creature can end this effect by succeeding an intelligence saving throw. Provoking Strike is actually really good, so we'll go with that one. Let's use English. Provoking Strike. And then 4th rank. Unstoppable is very Gruul. Fourth rank maneuver, anything good? Wave of Terror, nah, not specifically. 4th rank, Hexproof could work if we need it. 4th rank, neither one of those strikes makes a ton of sense. Knockout, Banishing, neither one of those are screaming Gruul to us. God, are we in sustained powers already? Fuck me. Okay. Hexproof can work if we need it. Frenzied Attack is great. And last one. Hexproof is there if we need it. Let's just skim through things again real quick. think we're going with it. Yeah, hexproof. A lot of people are getting hexproof, but it's okay. I'm okay with it. Golgari also got hexproof. Screw you, Ufus. Where are we at? Orzhov. Alright, 3rd rank. Orzhov. Thinking Orzhov. Empowered Synergy. Restraining Holes with Attunement. Vanish. Empowered Synergy could work if we need it. Befuddle, Flicker Pounce, Curse of Enfeeblement, Sleeper Hold, Swift Shot. Countering Attack, Empowered Ally. As a reaction to when an ally fails a d20 test, they can re-roll it. Oh, that's only 2nd rank, 3rd rank. Anchor isn't a horrible idea. Curse of Exposure isn't horrible for Orzhov. Seen a lot of those already, though. What else we got at 3rd? Daunting Presence. You can see rolls the disadvantage against you. Ghost Walker we picked up already. Daunting Presence. Oh, I skipped a Zet. Alright, well, we'll go with it. Daunting Presence. Let's go back to Izet before I forget about it. Alright, Izet, 3rd. Third strikes. Action economy, damage, staggering strike. It's only so-so. Defense barrier. That's a great one for Izet. Love that. Super happy with that. What else? Still in 3rd rank. Anchor isn't horrible. It's not quite where I want to be at with it. Wait, we're working through. Is that Anchor is actually really good? Yeah, let's do that. Dimensional shit. That feels right for Izet. 4th rank now. Let's see what we can find. 4th rank. 4th rank is that. Telekinetic Bubble. That feels easy. And also 4th, so we got the TK. I mean, Hexproof comes up again. It's totally viable for Izet. It's also very common, so I don't necessarily want to do that. Banishing Strike, not so much. Yeesh, we're running out of options. Yeah, 2 more. Hexproof again. I don't necessarily have to go in order, but I'm choosing to. TK Bubble was a good one. Just need one more, man. There's just not a lot of 4th rank powers is the problem. There's going to be a lot of dupes. Oh, if there's a lot of dupes, there's a lot of dupes. There's nothing we can really do about it. I mean, we could add more powers, but I don't want to just add more powers just to add them. I want them to have a purpose, a reason to be there. Indestructible. It's not bad. Boros. Yeah, Boros is good with indestructible. Gruul is good with indestructible. As is that. Okay, that's good. Back into Orzhov. So let's see. We're working at 4th rank Orzhov stuff. Jesus, this is gonna be. I guess we're gonna be taking hexproof again. Master of Fate isn't a horrible idea. A Banishing Strike, that'll work. Happily take that. Right, Revival isn't horrible. Mind Magic, Stupefy? No. But Wave of Terror isn't horrible. I can take that if I need it. Let's take it. Some duplication will occur. Where are we at? Rakdos? 3rd for Rakdos. First Strike isn't bad. Hypertunistic isn't horrible. Let's see. That's lining up. That's lining up. That's lining up. That's all lining up. All right. Okay, Hypertunistic, we have that one. Third. Not feeling any there. Third. Curse of Exposure is not bad. If we need it, we'll take it. What's another third? Blinding Strike, Dazing Strike, Life Stealing Strike, Poisoning Strike. Poisoning Strike's not bad. Wait, that's second. Wow. Not Poisoning Strike. Intimidating Strike. That's a good one. And now we're into 4th rank. Frenzied Attack's fine with me. A little again. There's redundancy at the top level because there's only like around 12 5th rank powers, 4th rank powers. So there's gonna be some duplicates, or a lot. So that one's good. I don't see Knockout or Banishing Strike being particularly useful here. Hexproof can work, of course, if we need it. Wave of Terror fits here. Stupefy to stun, that's not horrible. But I think assassinating damage works better. There. There, let's line these up. Okay, Celestia, this is coming along. Hey, thank you, Timer. How am I doing on time? It's only 1 o'clock. We're doing great. How long have I been at this? Hour and a half? Cool. We're doing good. Let's see. Where are we at? Celestia. Looking for Celestia stuff. Go to sustained powers to see if anything. We're hold on. We want to go down to 3rd. Windstrider's not horrible. One word. And we need another 3rd. Staggering Strike reduces action economy. That's not horrible. It doesn't scream Selesnya, but it'll work in a pinch if I had to. None of that feels right. Resilient save. That makes sense. Oh boy, and now we're back into the 4th. I wonder what we're going to pick for this. Neither one of those makes sense. None of those make sense. Hexproof and Rite of Revival both make sense. And then the last D. Could be hexproof if we need it. Knockout Strike isn't horrible. We can choose that if we need it. Let's go with Knockout Strike. There. It's not perfect, but I mean it works. All right, now we are into Simic. 5. 3rd rank. What do we want? We can give him frenzied attacks. Sure. What else we got at 3rd? Celerity is not. I can't stack Celerity with that, so I'm going to avoid it if I can. I can take it if I have to. Third. Anchor, curse, defense, fate spinner, anchor, and anchor doesn't feel right. Stupefy, we can get away with Stupefy. Pound, slip a hold, fuddle is gone. Resilient save makes sense for Simic. As does you could probably get away with hypertonistic, but we'll definitely take resilient save. That one definitely makes sense. Unstoppable doesn't. Those don't make sense. Maneuvers third and fourth. Let's see. Again, sleeper hold can work if we need it. Third and fourth. Empower ally, moving target, redirect, roll with a hit, saving grace. Oh, we went third rank. Curse of exposure could work. There's always hexproof. Always have hexproof. We'll take it. We'll take hexproof. Not, well, why not? Everyone else has it. It's the temporary hit points of martial powers. And we're still looking for third rank. Staggering strike could work. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. What else we got? Is there anything else on third that we missed that we wanted? Mind Sense isn't horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. We can take Mind Sense if we need it. Of all the children, it's the least ugly. Bursting Strike, Provoking Strike, Intimidating Strike. Yeah, Mind Sense is better than Staggering Strike. So we're still currently on Mind Sense. Fate Spinner, no. Curse of Exposure. Curse of Exposure isn't horrible, but it's not great. Curse of Enfeeblement. Sure. All right, it's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. All right, that's the 10. Let's see. Strixhaven. So looking at the credit system, we want to take the same structure here and rebuild it. Oh, you know what? We might not have to replicate all of this. Start with 3 credits in Silver Quill College. copy paste all that. Hold on. Feet, feet, feet. There it goes. There we go. So you start the game with 3 renown, and then you build on from there. Where are we at? Finished up Rakdos. We finished up Ravnica. I'm happy with that now. I'm not necessarily happy with the lack of variety in selections, but overall I'm happy with it. Reassessing. Oh boy. So when we get to piety with Theros, there's going to be there's 15 gods in total. I don't think I want to have bonus powers and spells associated directly with Theros. I think we're going to do it differently that way. I think in Strixhaven with the credit system, I don't think I want to have preset bonus powers and spells like we do with Ravnica. Ravnica, I think, is the only way we want to do this way. I think we want to standardize college credits. College credits work the same way. It's 3, 15, 27, 39, 51 is the 5 ranks of graduate that you basically get in the college credit system. Credits: find familiar mascot, gain the Strixhaven feat for familiar as a magic action or ritual without concentration. Let's see, advanced mascot at 15, gain the Strixhaven feat for advanced familiar as a magic action or ritual without concentration. 27 is 3rd rank. That's the steed mascot. Gain the find speed spell. You can summon a mascot as a ritual using this spell without concentration. So you're basically basic familiar, the advanced familiar, and then you can use the advanced form for the find steed spell as your mascot instead. And then 39, bonus high magic. You can prepare 1 spell of your college's colors from any spell list. You can cast once per day. The level of the spell is equal to or less than the level indicated for the amount of renown you have. And then at 51, you can use the epic casting feature of the wish spell. You can use the epic casting. Steed mascot, huh? I'm not 100% on this one. Let's see. Okay, so some things I'm thinking is... Warhold, credits, you start with 3 credits. You start with 3 credits in the Quandrix, and then you start with 3 credits in the Silverquill College. Witherbloom, you start with 3 credits in the Witherbloom College. Let's see. It's college, so it's studying, so... There's a lot of stuff you're getting in Ravnica. Backgrounds, guild benefits, renown. guild benefits, guild bonus powers and spells. If you're multi-class, you have access to more than one list. In addition, you can research spells of the level gained by your renown score. In addition, you can research spells on your spell list of the level gained, of a level up to, up to a level gained by your renown score at no cost. You can research spells on your spell list up to a level gained up to that which you have gained by your renown score. In addition, you can spend downtime at your guild hall to research spells on your spell list of a level up to that which you have gained by your for your renown score, to devote to research spells on your spell list of a level up to that which you have gained for your renown score, devoting them to the color of mana devoting them to one color of mana that your guild is also devoted to. For example, Azorius, an Azorius guild member can research sleep to be a white or blue spell when you have gained 6 or more renown with the Azorius Senate. Let's see. You can spend downtime at your guild hall at no cost. To research spells on your spell list of a level up to that which you have gained in your renown score. Devoting a spell researched this way you can devote that spell to one color. There we go. To one color of mana that your guild is also devoted to. For example, a Azorius guild member can research sleep to be a white or blue spell when you have gained 6 or more renown with the Azorius. There, perfect. And then guild benefits. As you reach new ranks in the guild, you gain additional benefits as described in the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which may very well, we may update here later. Okay, so that fleshes out and resolves the stuff that we want for Ravnica. We can do... for Strix, we can then come down here and steal that language because this will be a Strix benefit. It'll also be it'll also be a piety benefit for Gods of Theros. College credits. Spell research. You can spend downtime at your college, library, and archives at no cost to research spells on your spell list of level up to which you have gained for your credit score. College credits. You can devote that spell to one color of mana that your college is also devoted to. For example, an Azorius Guild member can, for example, a Lorehold member. For example, a Silver Quill student can research sleep to be a white or black spell, which you have gained when you have gained 6 or more credits with the College of Silver Quill. Let's double check that real quick. First, let's make sure sleep is 2nd level, and I think it's green only, but let's double check. Oh, it's a 1st level spell. Oh, sleep is blue and green. Yeah. That works. You gain 3 or more credits. Switch schools. Let's go find that reference. In addition, for example, you've gained 3 or more renown. For example, an Azorius Guild member can reach a Boros member. There we go. Because it's blue and green. You don't have either one of those. There we go. A Boros guild member can research sleep to be a white or red spell. There, that works. So Silver Quill's figuring out. The Strixhaven colleges. We have the mascot. We have the advanced mascot. When you gain 15 credits, you can establish you have gained access to a you gain access to facilities in the in your college. You can use your college campus as a bastion to develop you gain access to unused space on your college campus to use as a bastion. There. Passion, spell research. College benefits. When you reach certain amount of college credits, you gain additional benefits as listed below. Credits 3, benefit find familiar scout. Familiar mascot, there you go. Familiar mascot, advanced mascot, steed mascot, epic magic. You can use the epic casting feature of the wish spell. I don't know if I necessarily like that or not. I do like the benefits all being the same. As a student, there should be a consistency in pattern, so I'm happy with that. I'm not sure. I'm running out of time. Bonus high magic. You can prepare one spell of your college's colors from any spell list. You can cast one per day. Yeah, I don't necessarily like that. I don't. I'm not 100% with these. The finding mascot, the advanced mascot, that's pretty much as written in the book. The color conversion makes a ton of sense. The bastion, you can use. You are granted unused space on your college campus to use as a bastion. There, I like that. Spell research, I like that. College benefits. Not sure where else to go with that. The steed is another natural advancement of the mascot. I'm pretty good with that. It's the because Strixhaven gives you bonus spells, right? Let's double check what Strixhaven looks like. Let's look at all sources. Hold on. Let's see. Character options, schools. Strixhaven backgrounds. Lorehold spells. So we get Lorehold spells as well. We could go through. Borrowed knowledge doesn't exist anymore. These aren't bad spell selections. Well, we'd have to go. We only have 5 schools in Strixhaven, so we can go through the 10 ranks process again. I think I'm okay with that. Let's keep looking at stuff. But I'm not gonna have time to do that today, so we'll probably kick past that. Strixhaven backgrounds, Lorehold students, equipment, feature. In addition, if you have the spellcasting or pack magic feature, the spell lore hold table added to your list. Consider custom building a lore hold character, suggested characteristics. Prismari Initiate. You gain the Strixhaven Initiate feat. Strixhaven Initiate, lore hold, pick 2. Choose. You have studied the magical theory and have learned a few spells acquired associated with Strixhaven University. Choose one of the Strixhaven colleges. Blah 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 blah. Learn 2 cantrips in a first level spell. You can cast the chosen first level spell without a spell slot, and you must finish it. Your spellcasting abilities, feats, is blah blah blah. Strixhaven mascot. You have learned how to summon a Strixhaven mascot to assist you, granting you these benefits. You can cast Find Familiar spell as a ritual. Fractal mascot, Inkling mascot. Your familiar can take the form of the mascot associated with the college you choose with Strixhaven Initiate feats. Or a stat blocks creatures. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forgo one attack to allow the mascot familiar to make one attack of its own with its reaction. If your mascot familiar is within 60 feet of you, you can teleport as an action, swapping places with the familiar. If your destination space is too small for you to occupy, the teleportation fails, wasted. Once you teleport this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, or expend 2 mana is basically what the word there is. So let's see. We'd have access to Find Familiar as a normal spell, and then we'd have Familiar mascot. Gain the Strix feat or gain the Strixhaven mascot feat. Gain the Strixhaven mascot feat. That you can cast with concentration as a so you can cast it with concentration as a magic action or as a ritual without concentration. Let's see. Gain the Find Familiar spell. Which can appear as your college mascot using the rules for Find Familiar listed in the PH. And then we get the advanced form of it at 15 renown. And then at 27 renown, we're looking at gain the Find Steed spell. Which can take the form of your college mascot. You can, there. And Find Steed doesn't have a deadline. It doesn't have a duration, so that's fine as is. And then we're still messing around with 4th rank and 5th rank. We could go through the spell list. We get the conversion. We get the Bastion at 15. We get the Strixhaven mascot. We get the Fine Steed mascot. Bonus high magic. I'm not grooving on bonus high magic. I'm not feeling that. It doesn't feel right. You can prepare one spell of your college's color for any spell list. We just resolved that. When we're using color mana for Bard, instead of choosing an alternate spell list, you can choose any spell of the colors your Bard is devoted to. So like blue and white, for example, an Azorius Bard could pick white and blue spell. If like an Azorius Bard could pick white and blue spells from Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell list, or Sorcerer, or Warlock. Doesn't matter. Any of those lists. Gain the Fine Steed spell. Just take the form of your mascot. You can research spells in the library. You get your Bastion. We're going to want to go through the stack process of all the bonus spells. Bonus spells and powers. Bonus spells, bonus powers and spells. When you gain an amount of credits. I'm just gonna cut paste. I don't need to repeat all this shit. I don't have to make it up. I already made it up before. As you gain credits in your college, you gain access to information and resources of the you can to develop and research spells of your choice. When you gain the listed number of renown in your skill, you can choose a spell up to your listed level from your power or spell list that you've gained as a character to the devoted color of your choice, and is added to your known list. If you are multi-class and have access to more than one list, choose from one list, which can be different each time. In addition, when you gain the listed number of renown in your guild in your college, you can choose a spell. You gain the power or spell. You gain the listed power or spell up to the level listed from that you have gained as a character to be devoted to any color you choose, and is added to your list of known powers and spells. If you're multi-class and have access to more than one list, there you go. That's the language that we needed. That's the accurate language that we wanted. So let's cut and let's paste that back up here, because that is the accurate way of expressing this. Yeah. Guild bonus power spells. College bonus college bonus powers spells. This is for the number of credits in your college. Six, 9, 12, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 30, 30, 33, 36, 42, 45, 48, 'Okay, so these are pretty much going to be standardized. Thank you, Timely Timer. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. Bastion, college bonus power spells. Bastion, Strixhaven mascot. I guess we're doing it this way after all. 15. Bastion and Strixhaven mascot. Bonus power spell. Benefit. Steed mascot. Still figuring this shit out. 39.51. Okay, so we have our structure of spells, we have the researching, we have our basic features. At 3, we get our Find Familiar spell. At 15, we get access to being able to build a bastion on campus, as well as advanced mascot. At 27, we get Find Steed as a mascot. I'm a little stumped on 39.51, honestly. Yeah, I think I don't think I have a solution for this. And 2 o'clock is my ending point. I'm almost done anyway, so I think I need to think on this. So I'm going to let this sit over the weekend, and when we come back on Monday, we should have solutions. So I stream like this on Monday and Thursday nights, Tuesday and Friday lunches like this, and then I do artwork Monday through Friday in the morning. We're currently working on the artwork for an Eberron adventure I'll be publishing on the DMsGuild. So if you think this stuff is cool, and you don't mind watching me struggle with things like this, then be welcome to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. And yeah, I'm gonna be back on the other side. Benefits, credits, bonus, there. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.